A number of bills passing through the state legislature this session could transfer the management of certain state parks to the domain of Hawaii County. Under discussion are Hapuna Beach along the South Kohala coast, Mauna State Park along Saddle Road, and portions of Banyan Drive, Hilo's hopeful resort area.
We want Hapuna, we want Mauna State Park, and we want Banyan Drive. And when we say we're talking about the island community.
We caught up with Mayor Billy Kanoy in Kona recently, and we talked about the effort to take over the parks. He feels they have been neglected under the State Department of Land and Natural Resources.
You know, here we have cabins that aren't being utilized by our children, our families, our kupunas. Hapuna State Park, a true jewel of the Pacific. You know, we have bathrooms that have been under renovations for years, a concession stand that very few people visit, kama'aina or visitors alike. And Mauna State Park, 55 miles of probably the most beautiful scenic drive in the state of Hawaii. No restrooms that you can feel comfortable or proud of. Actually, it's deplorable, the conditions, to be quite honest. And, you know, in my 5th year as mayor of the county of Hawaii, I've had enough of Department of Land, Natural Resource and State of Hawaii saying, we're working on it. You know, no, you should have been working on it. It should be completed by now.
Also, with the Merry Monarch Festival right around the corner, the need for accommodations in Hilo is as apparent as ever. The mayor says the current state of Banyan Drive is deplorable.
This is where we're going to host our guests from around the world. This is where we're telling people Hilo and the island of Hawaii is a special place. Please come and enjoy. We invest hundreds of thousands of dollars in promoting our special, beautiful, wonderful island because we know a thriving, vibrant economy creates jobs and supports our working families. And to have a state agency year after year mismanage an incredible asset to the detriment of small businesses throughout the island of Hawaii is inexcusable. You go to Banyan Drive, which is basically holding East Hawaii's economy hostage. We have direct flights every day from Los Angeles. We had once a week on Saturdays from San Francisco, but without capacity or lodging, and adequate lodging. We're not talking 5 diamond, we're talking 3-star. You know, but the state has mismanaged that property for the last 7 years with one of the vendors, and now we have hog wire, you know, in the middle with graffiti, a drink pool, a broken elevators, substandard room.
County representatives have tried to wrest these parcels from the DLNR before. DLNR officials have always opposed any transfer. This year is no different.
One of the issues is many of the current lessees are at the end of the cycle of their leases. The legislature passed Act 219, Session Laws 2011, which actually authorized the board to extend hotel leases up to another 55 years under certain conditions. And those conditions meant significant investment in the area. To date, we've only worked with one lessee who has come forward. We stand ready to work with any other of the lessees that wish to come forward with proposals for serious investment into their hotel properties or resort properties. So we have a mechanism on the books right now to deal with the issue of lessees coming to the end of their lease and wanting and being afraid to invest more money. So the legislature has already passed Act 2119, which can help us move forward with any serious applicants that want to come forward to redevelop this area. So it's a process that was put in place probably about 4 or 5 years ago, recognizing that the general funds that was coming to the department was declining, and therefore we needed to utilize the lands that were under our control in more efficient manners to raise revenue. So it's the constant challenge for the department, right? Protect, but make some revenue so that you can protect.
I cannot sit back and allow these conditions to continue and keep being paternalistically patted on the head and said, don't worry about it, we'll take care of it at some future time. Because enough is enough.
But this year, the legislators sound agreeable to the county's position. The State House introduced a measure for Banyan Drive. And the State Senate has also pushed forward with transfer bills. State Senator Malama Solomon has been supportive of the idea.
Somebody said that we awarded Naniloa back to the same person. The Naniloa Hotel, the lease, back to the same person.
It's in bankruptcy.
It's in bankruptcy right now.
Okay, so where are we with all that? Did you give an extension on that lease? What are we doing?
It's still under
Nothing?
the original lease, current lease.
Okay,
is
could you call Mayor
2006.
Billy Kinoy and tell him that? Because he's under the impression that you folks gave him, he called me, I don't even know what he's talking about. Well, in that instance, I didn't know. I don't know, Kahele was with me.
So the
Senator Kahele.
basically the holder of the mortgage has
Yeah.
within the lease
Uh-huh.
conditions has the opportunity to step forward and to make the loan
Yeah, but
whole.
shouldn't he be out? I mean, I thought that he had
No,
so
he-
many
he-
violations.
It is subject to the federal bankruptcy court right now.
Oh, we're in a federal bankruptcy now?
Yes.
He is. So as part of that process, the lender that he borrowed the money from is coming forward to make payments and keep the lease going. And then at some
Yeah.
point, they can decide to sell the lease to someone else or to manage it themselves.
And as we speak, they are, proceedings are going on, so there's another hearing scheduled this month on this.
I mean, we have the mayor, and rightfully so, speaking in his defense. I mean, he's very concerned because one of the major airlines is thinking of canceling out their direct air flights to Hilo simply because there's no place for anybody to stay. And the conditions of our hotels on Banyan Drive are deplorable, which has been under your kuleana.
Most of the leases that were issued 55, 65 years ago are coming up now. And so we're waiting for some guidance from the legislature on what the process is going to be.
Oh, you're looking for guidance from us?
Well, the statute is very clear. After 65 years, we can't give any more extensions. So-
Right. So what do you need guidance from us for?
Well, in the sense that the Big Island folks came to us
Yeah.
and passed legislation to allow for lessees with 55 years to go to 65.
Only because we were told by your department that that is a way of, like you just mentioned earlier, that there's a reluctance for them to invest. Yeah?
So I'm understanding from,
Okay, but, I mean, I guess now when you're chairman, then you get other people giving you maybe other information, huh?
well,
But, I was told that there are other vendors out there that are interested. Outrigger Hotels is interested. Sheraton's interested in coming into Banyan Drive.
And so we're not saying give it to us, the County of Hawaii. What we're saying is enough is enough. So we're working with our senators and representatives. Bills are still alive. I've met with the governor and the head of DLNR and the head of HTA. And we're not saying we're the answer. We're saying we're a better answer than what we have today. And people are coming up with other options and alternative, a Hawaii Community Development Authority oversight or lease to the county. And we're not saying there's a right or wrong answer, but we have to believe there's a better answer than what we currently have.